everybody! Hello, 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 hello! Welcome in for more crime and romance. I have ice cream, so momentarily I will be eating throughout. We are going to try to romance this handsome fella, as I labeled him Flirt last time. So yeah, without further ado, let's get back into it. This is the start of the route, by the way, for any of those wondering. I couldn't move. His smile, illuminated by the moonlight, drew me in. The silence that prevailed was broken by He smiled gently at the man who fled in horror. Sorry to expose you to bloodshed. I really didn't want to use my gun in front of a lady like yourself. His expression and voice were kind, but it wasn't benefiting of a situation where a bloodied body rolled over the ground. Nothing about him is different since the time I met him yesterday, which was why his presence brought a chill. Having been born and raised here, I had seen my share of dead bodies on occasion, but so close right in front of me. I've never seen a body break, or seen the vivid image of blood spurting from a wound. No words. I couldn't even scream. The smell of blood in the air choked me, keeping me from breathing properly. I held my trembling body with both arms and looked at the person in front of me. Nicola. I managed to speak a few words. Okay, I feel like I need to check. Because this is going to start affecting the story. I can guarantee it. But that screen isn't helpful. Okay. So we're at 3% of the route. I don't know if it'll give me indicators. I guess this is a good place to test it. You saved me? That's right. Are you okay? Hey, Book of Neat, how are you? I'm good, thank you. I finished my first semester at school today, so we're gonna be celebrating this weekend by playing lots of romance games. Why, yes, thank you, senor. You're very welcome, senorita. I wasn't sure what lie in wait, so I came here to check things out. I'm just glad you're safe. Made it worth my while running down here. I looked up at his smile and breathed a sigh of relief. Meanwhile, story. What? Pause? I don't know what that means. Oh! Did you finish him? Yeah! Yeah, he's dead. You mind cleaning up after? Sure, but what are you going to do? I was ordered to scope the Aurracle district, particularly the church. So all I know right now of this game is the heroine, me, was raised in an Italian town back in like 1925, I think. I was an orphan. I was raised in a church, and the town is run by 3 different mafia gangs who have basically divvied it up. And there's a select number of men in this game I can romance, and so it's like trying to romance and stay alive. I see. Gotta head to our underboss. You know what? I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna save it for tomorrow. So this is the reverse. I don't know that word. Is that like harem? If you're asking if it's like a reverse harem, yes. If not, I don't know. Looks like everything's clear. Guess the Laoshu weren't planning on attacking. Huh? What? Ooh, so they got attacked. I looked up at his smile and breathed a sigh of relief. I'm saved. I felt a deep sense of relief come over me. He wanted me to talk about what happened, so he brought me to the Falzone family manor in the Village district. Everyone in Burlorn knew where the Falzone family lived, but that didn't mean that any normal person could step foot in their residence. So, oh, no, okay, no, cause, I believe the heroine is 21. Yeah, I noticed that, a lot of, Discord servers aren't working right now. How do you tell if you're romancing them? Like, there's gotta be a way, right? Like... You saw your friend being attacked by the men in the alley in Aurracle. Luckily, a person you knew came by and took you both to the hospital. While your friend was being examined, you attempted to contact the church when the men found you. And that's when I showed up. Yes, exactly. Well then, let me tell you who that person was who saved you. Do you know that person? Yes, his name is Aurracle. And he's my friend. I see. I think Discord's having a bad day. Yeah. I want to romance him so bad. He was quite young. He didn't seem like anyone in the Falzone family. Aurracle contacted me after he saved you too to let me know what you were attacked in Aurracle, and that's why I headed over there with my men to protect you. I've heard of that anime. I haven't watched it though. I'm glad everything turned out alright. If you didn't come in time, I might have been, I would have been killed. Thinking that I was so close to death brought a shiver down my spine. He quietly covered my shaking hands with his. Dante doesn't like disclosing information about the Mafia to normal citizens like yourself, but I think you have the right to know why you were in that predicament. I was scared to know, but it's scary to not know. I took a deep breath and nodded. Please tell me. Light Melody and I watched after. Ooh! What's it about? Do you know about the missing girls around town? Yes, I heard about it from the people who visit the church. Rumors say that they left town to go out into the city. What if their departure wasn't by their own will? Okay, look, his hair is pretty. What do you mean? We've heard different rumors, so we decided to look into what was really going on. Turns out, they didn't leave Borland because they wanted to. Young girls, especially those without a family, are being abducted. Oh. Abducted? Who would do such a thing? The Laoshu. This is still speculation, but we believe they were abducted to be sold to another country. Oh, ew, gross. I don't think I need to tell you what would happen to them. They were sold as slaves. I mumbled in disbelief. I can't believe such a thing is happening here. The Mafia here did have their differences, but the town was generally safe enough to even welcome tourists. A fictional country based on China. The series follows a young girl working as an in her bad night district. She was kidnapped and sold to the Imperial Palace as a servant. However, she still retains her curious and erratic personality and plans to work there until the years of servitude are over, without drawing the attention of anyone. One day, after hearing rumors that the Emperor's children unpicked oil, she begins to investigate. Ooh. The districts were hidden behind the peaceful surface of the town. Or at least that was what I thought. Continued surprise. It took us quite some time to connect the events to the Laoshu's. I'm guessing that you two were also targeted for that very purpose. But that was the first time the Laoshu have extended their reach here. Thank you so much! I hope you can get your computer fixed. As you may know, Arca is a neutral district that is ordained as an off-limits area to the Mafia. Now that the Laoshu have broken the rule, the Foul Zones will move in to eliminate them. He spoke clearly of their course of action and looked at me with concern. You must be confused with everything happening around you. But don't worry, I promise we'll protect you. And your friend, no matter what. Thank you, Senor. You can just call me Nick. I'm just gonna call him Nick. Huh? But no need to be shy. Oh wait, you're scared, aren't you? That's not true. You did save our lives after all. Well then, Nick, it is. Consider it proof of our friendship. I was still a bit hesitant, but it was hard to refuse, especially with the way he presented it. Thank you, Nick. He smiled hearing me speak his name, then extended to me a surprising invitation. Why don't you rest here for tonight, for your safety? Huh? Are you sure? I mean, I'm an outsider. I'm not a member of your family. It's alright. It would actually be more problematic to let you return to the church now. If something were to happen to you, our family name would be in jeopardy. Nick's expression hardened a bit as his tone became more serious. The Foul Zones have grown to who we are now because of the blessings from this land, which is why we're doing what we can to help. In particular, we need to protect you as a member of God's flock. Whoa! That's wild. That's not true. The Falzone family has been giving constant donations to the church. Even your boss, Senor Falzone, often comes by to offer his prayers. I know that your family is all very cautious and take the church's teachings to heart. Much more than Laoshu, I'm sure. You're right. Nicola's playful comment made me chuckle. Well then, may I accept your gracious invitation? Of course, welcome to our family. He knows my name? How unexpected. Thank you very much. Now then, have a good night's sleep. We can talk again tomorrow. What a wonderful room. This bed is soft and the adornments are so extravagant. The room I was led to was the most beautiful guest room I had ever seen. I changed my clothes and tucked myself into bed. The room is so fancy, maybe a bit too fancy. The room is far beyond what a normal person like me should enjoy. I hope Elena is okay. Maybe she's feeling better already. I hope she's not in too much pain. I wasn't able to call the church. I'm sure everyone is worried sick. This isn't working. I couldn't get myself to fall asleep. I'm also getting thirsty. After pondering a moment, I slowly got myself out of bed. Just gonna go to drink of water. You're still awake? Nick! My heart leapt hearing Nick's call to me the moment I took a peek outside my room. I didn't expect anyone here. Wait, my clothes. Not only was I embarrassed, it was rude of me to look this way in front of the person who saved me. While I regretted my actions, I tried to keep my composure. You're not going to sleep yet? Oh, no, not yet. I guess you could say I was worried about you. Wait, have you been here all this time? You're standing guard, aren't you? Nick squinted a bit and then smiled at me. Yep, just wanted to make sure. How thoughtful of you. I'm assuming this is just part of his duties, but the fact that he cared enough to stand guard told me how kind he was. So what made you look outside? I'm sorry to leave the room without permission. It's just that I couldn't sleep. And I was getting a little thirsty, so... I'm not surprised, after all. You've been through quite an ordeal. Tell you what, why don't you just wait inside? I'll be right back. Without waiting for my response, Nick left down the corridor. It sounds like an interesting anime, Super Midget Man. I feel bad having to bother Nick like this. I decided to go back inside my room, feeling sorry for having him cater to me. It's more probably to keep you safe so you don't find any secrets by accident or overhear a conversation you're not supposed to. Mafia. Thanks for waiting here. Ooh, pretty. He handed me a steaming cup of warm milk. It's pretty cold tonight, so I figured something warm would do the trick. I took the mug from his hand and felt the warmth flowing through my fingers. Thank you, Nick. You're very welcome. It's quite hot, so be careful. Thank you. I can smell a hint of honey. It's so warm and delicately sweet. Feeling better? Yes, I feel warm all over now. I suppose this warm cup of milk was exactly what I needed. I was thankful that he took such care in considering what I really wanted. Well then, why don't we talk for a bit until you get sleepy? Huh, but... Of course, if I'm in your way, feel free to let me know. Not at all, but if you don't mind... Good to hear. I feel like she wanted to ask something she didn't ask. From there, we spoke casually about all sorts of things. We spoke about the weather and our interests. We spoke about what sweets we liked, what flowers and animals we liked. And finally, Nick ended our conversation with, so how did today go for you? Huh? I need to make a save file. His gentle eyes compelled me to slowly reveal what was deep inside my heart. It was very scary. I'm still not sure what happened. My best friend was about to be killed, then someone died in front of me. I just don't know why this is all happening. This all feels like some nightmare. Recalling that event made me shudder in fear. So I gently crossed my hand in his. You did your very best. Yeah, I was born and raised in the family, so I'm accustomed to the violence, but I've had my fair share of sleepless nights. I understand the anxiety, the fear that's inside you. He spoke as if consoling a young child. I feel a bit better already. My mind that had been everywhere since the incident was coming back to earth with his words. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for listening to me. I showed him my gratitude with a smile, and he smiled back at me. I'm the one who should be thanking you. After all, I've always been interested and wanted to talk with you like this all along, Kitty. Huh? Before I could ask what he meant by that, Nick quickly and abruptly ended our conversation. Now then, I should get going. At this rate, morning will arrive before we know it. It sounded as if he's known me for some time. Maybe he just said it as a joke, or maybe he's just being polite. The men from this country do say things to flatter, but living at the church has kept me from most of those types. I'm sure he was joking. Still, that caught me off guard. Looks like you're done with your drink. Why don't you go to sleep now? I suppose. Maybe it's because I was relaxed now, but I could feel the sleep wash over me. I went back into bed, and Nick tucked me in with the warm blanket. Nick, I'll stay by your side until you fall asleep. The palm of his hand covered my eyes. I couldn't tell what kind of expression he had on his face, but his voice was gentle, and I heard a touch of genuine concern. To think that you have to sleep overnight in the Mafia manor after facing death. A sweet girl like yourself doesn't deserve to go through all of this. Nick, now then, close your eyes and go to sleep. He firmly held my hand, and his fingers intertwined with mine. Why is he so kind to me? I had had no parents since I was a child, so it wasn't often I was treated like this. I couldn't seem to explain my feelings, so I felt warm and cozy, yet it was bittersweet. I don't want to deny the kindness that he's showing me. I felt guilty about what was happening, but I slowly drifted into slumber. Good night, Katie. Soon after his kind, gentle whisper, I fell asleep. Yes? Without realizing it, I answered the knock at the door as I opened my eyes. I saw an unfamiliar ceiling above my head. Ah, that's right. I spent the night at the Falzone family's manor. Good morning, Senor. The voice sounded so close to me that I sprung up. Where did you... Huh? You answered my knock, so I let myself in. You're still not awake, are you? I'm so sorry, I haven't even dressed. Don't worry, I'm just glad to see that you slept well. Yes. Here's a change of clothes for you. Oh, thank you. You brought this over for me? Oh, it's nothing. I'll be waiting outside, so could you let me know once you're ready? Oh yes, thank you. I expressed my gratitude, at which Nick smiled and headed out of the room. I took a look at the clothes he brought. What a lovely dress, it's just my size. I tilted my head, a bit bewildered, and changed into the dress. After straightening out my appearance, I opened the door and beckoned Nick inside. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. It looks even better on you than I thought. Okay, I gotta look something up right quick. I'm so curious about how I know if I'm romancing them. Cause like, it's not giving me an indicator. And if it is giving me an indicator, I'm doing it wrong. What do you think? His expression answered my question. So, you did. I'd appreciate if you would accept them as a small gift from yours truly. By the way, you have a guest here waiting for you. Do you mind following me? For me? But no one knows I'm here at the Falzone Manor. I wonder who it could be. I tilted my head, wondering who came to see me as I was escorted out by Nicola. Hey, Hunter! Nick led me into a room adorned with the finest luxuries. Dante! Sitting at his desk was the one and only Dante Falzone. Another stood near the door. Sister Sophia! Oh, I'm so glad you're safe! I could tell how worried Sister Sophia was by the expression on her face. I'm so sorry, I wasn't able to contact you yesterday. How did you know I was here? I received a call from Senor that you were staying here. I also heard what happened to Elena, so I went to visit her at the hospital first before coming here. The hospital, so is she okay? She hasn't woken yet, but the doctor said her condition was stable for now. Nuns are cool, I agree. I see, thank goodness. I was glad Sister Sophia found me. I could go back to the church. I could finally return home. However... But wait, there's more! Senor Falzone, Sister Sophia turned to the boss and pleaded, please, can you keep her under your care a little while longer? Sister Sophia? She was attacked in Archia, a place that's supposed to be safe. I heard someone in the Forlorn Mafia was responsible. I can only assume the gravity of it. On top of that, there was a killing that occurred near the church. I quickly looked at the others upon hearing the surprising news. Neither of them seemed surprised. They must have already known. So, Hunter, update on this game. I'm a sister in a church. And I was raised there, and I could have left when I became an adult, which is 20 in this game. But I stayed to help out the orphanage, and now I have to stay alive. I have romancing mafia, basically. Hey, your girl Michi, how are you? It's a really interesting premise. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm good, thank you. Someone clipped your starting Zoom screen? Interesting, okay. It was one of our men, a Falzone member, who was killed. It was the man I sent to scope the church grounds after you were saved. I couldn't believe someone would dare try to kill someone near the church. I wanted to know who could have done it. I'm assuming... Book of Neat, thank you so much for subscribing at tier 1. I really appreciate it. Could it be the Lao Shu? The only ones who would dare face the Falzones when it would be another mafia family in Forlorn. Well, whittle the choice down to either the Lao Shu or the Viscounty, and the leader of the Viscounty, Gilbert Redfield. He is known to be a cautious person, and I see him come to church every week to pray. I doubted someone so devout would dare to commit such an act near the church. I assume so. It's not confirmed yet, but we both think they're the ones behind the killing. I think they must have been up to no good around the church. Thank you again for the lurk, and thank you for the sub. Which would explain why they killed him, to cover up their inelected deeds. The Lao Shu. Could they be the ones behind what happened to me and Elena? It happened on the same night of the killing, so I believe they're involved. I feel like I know this voice actor. I'll have to look it up later. In any case, we need to take action. We won't allow the perpetrators to walk free. If one of the other families did break the rules set among us, then there's no assurance that the church is safe anymore. Sister Sophia, we also discovered that the Lao Shu is targeting young women. Is there anyone else at the church like that? I can only think of her and Elena. Then we will protect the two of them moving forward in the name of the Falzone. As you wish, we will have her stay with us under our protection. As for the other, we will have our men continue to stand guard at the hospital. To be safe, once things are a bit more stable, we will move her to a hospital outside of town. We will also cover the church area. However, we don't want to provoke them, not just yet. So we will move undercover and act only when another mafia family makes their move. You will handle it. Nick, with pleasure. Thank you very much, Senor. I express my gratitude and appreciation for their concern and definitive plan of action. I didn't expect that you would help us and the church this much. It is our duty, not only that, but a member of our family was killed. The Mafia does not take such things lightly. We have been here for ages and could not have prospered without this land. Their duty, I have to admit, he is quite honorable as a boss. After all, being able to take things into your own hands and act is very difficult. I guess I'm lucky that it was the Falzones who found us and is ensuring our care. By the way, while you're here, call me Dante. Most everyone in the house is a senor. It can become confusing. Oh, yes, of course. Hey, Sam the Nerd, how are you? I nodded at Dante in agreement. If so, you can call me Kitty as well, if the need arises. Is it too much to ask? That's not what I meant. What is it? If there's a need, I will call for you. That's fine. I suppose. Oh my, I'm glad to see you two getting along already. I built the Lego set for the first time in years yesterday. I was asleep at 3, but I woke up an hour later. What Lego set did you build? I am good, thank you. Is that what you call getting along? I would have to agree with him. We both raised our brows at the same time. Sister Sophia was looking at us with a smile. Nick? For a moment, I thought I saw Nick frowning. Well then, let me show her around. She'll need to know the basics if she's to live here a while. Thank you. Thank you very much, Signore Francesca. Alright then, shall we? Yes, thank you, Nick. Nick and I left the room with Dante, and Sister Sophia is staying behind. That was Dante's office. It's a room designated for every Falzone boss throughout the generations. Just make sure you don't go there unless you're called. Dante's a bit difficult to work with, and he's a busy man. Understood. I'll try not to bother him. Good. Now then, the second floor is for the Falzone members, so don't go around there. And if you recall, the room at the very end of this corridor is your room. I understand, I think. The hallway looked very different now that the sun was up. You mean that room? I'd better make sure I don't forget. I'll also show you where my room is later. If you need anything or just want to chat, feel free to come by at any time. Thank you, Nick. I'm sure Nick is saying that for the bottom of his heart, but I can't imagine myself going into a man's room alone. I suppose the only time I'd visit would be in an emergency. Is one of the Minecraft ones? The little outside area. Oh, bees are so cute. Save the bees. Oh, please do. This is our common area, or as we prefer to call it, salon. This is where everyone comes together to eat or to simply pass the time. Speaking of which, I'll have your meal served in your room from now on. Once you're ready, you can dine with us. It's more fun eating with others, isn't it? But wouldn't it be a problem for me to be there if something important comes up? Don't worry, we'll make sure that we don't discuss anything sensitive in front of you. And if there's an urgent matter, we'll ask you to stay in your room. Yes, of course, I would appreciate that. I let out a sigh of relief. By the way, aren't you hungry? We've been talking for a couple hours now. Don't tell me you heard my stomach growl. Unfortunately, no, I didn't hear it. I should have paid better attention. Okay. Then again, is it alright? Then again, it is already 11 o'clock. It's only natural to be hungry this time of day. It's what? Wait, so I woke up around 9 o'clock? I don't believe it. I usually wake up by 6 a.m. regardless. Well, that's just how tired you were. Your appetite returning is a sign that you're recovering. I'm sure you'll be back to feeling like yourself in no time. Oh, and you did only have that cup of warm milk yesterday. I'm surprised your stomach hasn't been roaring all day. Stop it, that's embarrassing. How about we head to the kitchen? The ruler of the Falzone is waiting there. Ruler? There's someone else in power besides Dante? I tilted my head in curiosity as Nick led me out of the salon. It smelled so good in here. I wonder what's being prepared. I'm going to get scolded to death if anyone finds out I'm here. Come now. A thin boy like yourself needs to eat to grow. Haha! It's good. A young man around the same age as me was nibbling on some fried bread. He turned around and... Oh, he's a cutie! He reminds me of... What's his name? From Mystic Messenger. Underboss. That looks good, Leo. Leo's cute. Good morning, young Nick. Good morning. Kitty, this is Julia. She's the head housekeeper overseeing all the maids here. She's been in the family forever. Everyone's been under her care at some point of time. Oh, so you must be... Are you the one that the young Nick swept away last night? That's a bit dramatic. It was for the protection. Protection. Oh my, where are my manners? You are a man of propriety, after all, young Nick. Well, I am a girl, so... Why would I ever think that you would bring a lady here? After all, your ladies are all outside, peeping for your arrival. You don't give up, do you? Come to think of it... Oop. He did wink at me like some playboy. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of girls outside waiting for him. Kitty, I hope you're not misunderstanding things here. Not to worry, my image of you has not changed since the day we first met. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Welcome back! Nick tilted his head and frowned as he pondered over my response. I turned to the keeper of the place to introduce myself. Nice to meet you. My name is Katybug. I'm honored to stay in your lovely home. There's so much that I don't know, so I hope you can bear with me during this time. My, what a polite young woman you are. She's very refined and well-mannered, isn't she, young Nick? Why are you asking me? Before I forget, would you mind preparing something for her to eat? Why, not at all. Please wait in the salon while I put everything together. Then let me make you something to drink before the meal. Kitty, how about a cup of cafe latte? Yes, oh my goodness. Coffee with ice cream sounds so good right now. Some extra milk, and would you like sugar? Yes, please. Nick smiled and began to prepare the drink. He gently poured the warm milk into the espresso. The milk foam blended beautifully with the espresso to become a masterpiece. Leo? The young man that was watching us from a distance ran towards us. Yes, what can I do for you? If you have time to snack, could you take this to the salon instead? Leave it to me, I won't spill even a drop. I like his energy, he's so fun. I want to pet his head. Not spilling would be the norm, of course you wouldn't. Nick sighed with a shrug. He then looked at me and pointed to the door. Do you know how to get to the salon from here? Yes, absolutely, I think. How about a test then? I'll follow you, so lead the way. I'll try my best. I took a deep breath and stepped out of the kitchen with the two of them in tow. We were in the salon where I was sipping on the latte that was made earlier. Gulia came in with a smile on her face. It looked like the meal was ready. Thank you for waiting. Here's some freshly made... Ooh, what is that? Made using a dough rolled flat, then filled with cream and formed into a croissant shape, which is then deep fried in oil. It is commonly... What? Where can I get one of these? I need to try that. They look delicious. Enjoy them while they're hot. Why, thank you. The flavor of the panzerotti could already be savored from the sight and smell alone. It's so hot, but so delicious. The flaky dough was filled with tomato sauce and mozzarella. Why don't I introduce him while you enjoy your meal? Nick glanced over at the young man, who straightened himself up for the introduction. His name is Leo, and he'll be assigned to serve and protect you. Aww! Pleased to meet you. The name's Leo Cavagins. Please call me Leo. Pleased to meet you, Leo. My name is Katybug. You can call me Kitty. Understood. I heard what you went through, and I can only assume how terrible it was. I'm sure there's a lot of things that you're still worried about, but I'll do my best to help. Looking forward to working with you. Thank you, Leo, and the same to you as well. Thank you. What a cute kid. I would have loved to be by your side the whole time, but I do have other duties to attend to, so unfortunately I can't afford to. Aw, poor Nick. I understand. So what are your duties? I stopped myself from finishing my question. Leo called Nick underboss earlier. The underboss was second in command to the boss. Nick, the underboss. I didn't know you were... Come to think of it, he was speaking quite casually to Dante, the family boss. He also appeared to have men working under him, so I knew he wasn't too subordinate. But he was the second in command to Burlo's largest family. Don't worry, everyone who meets me doesn't see me as the underboss, but I'm Dante's cousin and blood kin to the Falzone. The Falzone family highly values maintaining their bloodline, so I'm just here for show. I responded to Nakai. Oh, okay, hold on. That would suck if I loaded that quick save now, because, that's a lot. That's, like, really far back. Well, you are very kind. I wouldn't have expected you to be the underboss. Well, I am kind, that's for sure. Leo, you don't look well. Oh, I'm fine, really. In any case, don't let my position bother you. I'd appreciate it if you approach me as you normally do. Normally? Has your attitude toward me so far been normal to you, Nick? Did I do something wrong? He doesn't notice. Not at all, but you're a very thoughtful person, aren't you? Thoughtful is an understatement. Casual agreed with me in Nick's place. He's been taking care of young Dante ever since they were children. He's treated him like a little brother. That made him who he is today. Oh, I see. Young Dante and young Nick get along so well together. He's from a branch of the Falcon family, so he has the right to own the manor, but he spent most of his time here. Why, he was more shaken than the young Dante when it happened 5 years ago. 5 years ago, as in when the boss back then was killed? Leah nodded with a sad look on her face. Killed. Odd, considering he was doing fairly well. Maybe he was assassinated. I recall people around town speaking of such a similar vein. I thought those were merely rumors. Gilead? Yes, was Dante alright? Back then, his father's passing sounds terrible. Young Dante didn't get along very well with his father. In fact, they seemed to grow apart ever since the young Dante came of age. I see. I remember that very night, young Nick wasn't here when it happened. He wasn't in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. Take a drink. Make sure to stay hydrated.
その後しばらくの間、坊ちゃんがらしくもない失敗を繰り返していたのを覚えていますよ。
It was about then that he made many mistakes that were so unlike him. Julia, I think that's enough for now. I don't think that's something you should speak about in public. Huh? I didn't know that. Oh, yes, I think we should stop talking about it already. Don't want to dampen the mood, do we? Please, go ahead and enjoy the meal. It tastes best when it's hot. You're right. It'd be better to enjoy my drink while it's hot, too. Don't want to waste Nick's masterpiece. I appreciate your concern. I don't think I need to say this, but I haven't heard anything here. I'll keep everything to myself. Please do. Ba 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 ba. Well, my root percent hasn't gone up at all. It's beautiful. After the meal, Nick brought me to the garden outside. Oh my, what a place, it's incredible. The carefully tended trees and bushes were lined up beautifully. You're in our custody now, so you won't be able to leave here for a while. So if you need to get a breath of fresh air or want to talk, we can do it here. Stepping outside should make you feel better. Thank you very much, Nick. Do you really like it? I mean, I was referring to everything you've done for me. You saved my life, and I can't thank you enough for it. You even saved Elena, and let me meet with Sister Sophia, too. Sister Sophia is like a mother to me. You can't imagine how happy I was. Meeting her eased my tension and brought a much-needed peace in my mind. Your mother, you were raised by the church because you lost your parents, is that right? How did you know? Thanks for the lyric, Hunter, I appreciate it! I'm sorry, I did some background checks. I figured it would help me find out why the Laoshu targeted you. I found nothing of note, though. I see. Nick tried to find words to say to me as he looked around the beautiful garden. I'm like Dante, I didn't necessarily have a good relationship with my parents. To be honest, the thing I had to do made me feel like I was locked in a cage, so I naturally parted ways from them. I know this sounds strange, but after I found out what you've been through, it made me feel like you were similar to me. I know that sounds strange. No, not at all. His concern brought warmth to my heart. Maybe that was why I felt much closer to Nick now than before. Thank you. We looked at each other and smiled. A breeze passed through us, lifting the pleasant fragrance of flowers into the air. Wow, these are very long chapters. Curious. Oh, you can't see the extras yet. Interesting. Is that a quirky bug? Yeah, I forgot about these. Oops. Let's play one more chapter. A few days passed in the Falzone Manor. Though they treated me as a special guest, it made me feel a bit uneasy, so... Lunch looks great again today. Did you make this? I asked if I could help, so now I was assisting with the daily chores. Yes, but under Gilea's guidance. I tossed some cream de rapa with... I don't know what that is. Then topped it with some shaved... green vegetable from the species found along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. A salted and dried gray mullet or tuna roe, similar to the Japanese. Okay. So I rarely use the back at church. Just as expected of the Falzones, they had nearly every ingredient one could want. I made some and some other... We had a tradition of serving small portions from a variety of dishes. Preparing them all did take a while, but it was fun and well worth the time. Everything looks so good! That's right, and you know what else? Everything tastes better when it's made by a cute young lady. Look at our maids. They've been through the ringer, you know? Oh my, don't tell me the Falzone men don't know how to respect their ladies. Well, those kind of folks don't deserve any for sweet, often used in reference to cakes and desserts. Hold on, don't get me wrong, I actually have a taste for ripe women. So the maids here are ready for the picking. You could come see me in another 20 years. Well then, I guess you deserve this. A nice cut of dollars. I'm happy to see you happy. Looks like you're getting along just fine with everyone. Welcome back, Nick. I hadn't noticed his return and walked up to him upon his injury. It feels like it's been a while. He's been very busy and is hardly around nowadays. Are you sleeping? You don't look too well. I didn't sleep yesterday, but I'll go to bed soon. Not before your dollars, though. Now trusted my cooking and assigned me to bake the dollars. Only dollars? That's not a balanced diet. How about some roasted brain? I actually made the main dish today, too. Salted or smoked pork lard. I coated the brine with lardo and roasted it with lemon butter. It comes with sweet potato mash on the side. Sounds like a work of art. I can't say no to that. I responded to Nick. I smiled and nodded as I prepared his plate. I'm sure you'll like it. You must have some, Nick. I really think he's going to miss out on what I made today, and without sleep or food, he's going to tire himself out and get sick. He has to eat when he has a chance so that he's well nourished. Nick smiled at me, sensing that I was concerned about his well-being. How can I refuse such an offer? Of course I'll have some broiled shrimp. Oh, but if it doesn't taste good, I'm going to have you take responsibility. Responsibility? Make it up to me somehow. Wait until you get a taste of today's dollars then. Sounds like you're ready. I guess I'm at a disadvantage. That dollar sure hit the spot. Sweet and tart and perfect. I'm happy you liked it. I didn't know that it tasted so good when it's hot and fresh. It was amazing. A dessert that originated in Austria. The dough is rolled paper thin with various fruits such as apples. Ooh. Yes, and they taste even better when it's getting cold like now. Looks like Leo's a slave to your cooking. I'm happy to hear it. Glad I can be of some service while I'm here. Working and moving around does help keep my mind off of all the things going on. Then, Kitty, can I bother you for some time with your services? Now I thought you were going to sleep. Oh, I think what he meant was he wants you to be with him when he sleeps. Leo, what in the world are you? Huh? Would it be easier to understand if I said that he wants you to sleep with? Leo? I don't believe I requested a translation for what I said, did I? Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Nick. Really? I coughed to the side in an effort to hide the redness in my face. I turned to Nick and nodded. I'm fine now. But do you mind waiting for me to clean up first? Absolutely, I'll just wait for you here. Nick, I know you have your standards, but let me say something. Don't try to have too much fun with someone from the church. Please take good care of her. We believe in you. Oh, that was a laugh of someone's about to be punched later. Strange, Nick smile seemed a bit scary. I went back to the kitchen with the dishes. Scotty, I brought the dishes. It's so good to know that they ate everything clean off their plates. That's good too. Oh my. Nick ate everything? Why, yes, even the garnish. Is there a problem? He doesn't like lardo. He wouldn't even take a bite if it's used to cook a meal. Really? I didn't expect him to finish or even try the broiled brim. Nick didn't say a word about his dislike for lardo. And yet he still ate it? Is it because I recommended it to him? I quietly washed the dishes while thinking about Nick's reaction to my recommendation. I was finally done cleaning after the meal. Nick brought me, not to his room, but to the garden. Was there something you wanted to talk about? You noticed? A little, but you really shouldn't ask me like that. It really gave me the wrong impression. I'll be careful next time and ask you out when we're alone. I wouldn't want another guy besides me to see you blush. Why, you, Nick, you don't learn, do you? I could feel my cheeks getting warm as I protested, but my agitation didn't seem to bother him. Instead, he just smiled at me. In any case, I figured you aren't the type to ask me to go to your room. But you listened to me back when I wasn't able to sleep. I figured it's my turn now to listen to what you have to say. Thanks for being so accommodating, though it's not so much about listening. Rather, I want you to be in the know. I'm sure you'll find it quite interesting. Interesting? Aurracle, are you around? Yes. It's my boy! I didn't notice him there. My ninja boy, my ninja boy. A young man appeared from the shadows wearing a hood over his face. His name is... He's my intel agent and partner from a ways back. I think I mentioned this before, but he's the one who told me you were in trouble. He's such a cutie! So you're the informant. I didn't expect him to be that person, especially since I saw him often at church. I turned to him and apologized. I'm very sorry for not giving you my thanks back then, and thank you very much for saving us. I couldn't turn a blind eye. I assumed Nick would help if he found out. Yes, I was pretty lucky that you came to me directly to let me know she was in trouble. That seemed like an odd statement. He's making it sound like he was the lucky one and not me. Nick noticed my pondering over his statement. Don't let what I said bother you. I didn't put any thought into that comment. That aside, do you have any updates? If you're referring to the slave trade, then I don't have any new information. She was the last one attacked. Nothing much has changed since then. That also means that the abductions in London have subsided, at least for now. I see. What you said matches what I've heard. The police are also saying the same thing. It wasn't a coincidence. The last few must know. Aurracle, can I ask you to continue with what you do best? I'll be sure to make it worth your while. Aurracle nodded to Nick and quickly disappeared from the garden as mysteriously as he appeared. Nick, about what you said earlier. His comment about how the Laoshu knew something was bothering me. But, well, that's about it for me. May I lead you back to your room? He abruptly changed the subject to show that he had no intention of continuing the conversation. Yes, thank you, Nick. In turn, I ask that you rest well. I will. I'm pretty tired today. Nick smiled and escorted me back to my room. What's the matter? If you keep that up, you're going to make me blush. Oh, was I staring at you? I suddenly said what was on my mind. I appreciate how kind you've been to me, but aren't you being a bit too kind? Oh? You don't like Ordo in your meal, right? Oh, that somehow I felt I could eat anything today. Somehow? You're too kind, Nick, and it worries me a bit. I'm not sure what you see in me, but I'm not all kind. You know? Our family is very strict. Rules refers to each of the family rules that must be followed. Those who break the rules receive the most extreme punishment. Yikes. We are ruthless and cruel to anyone who dares to break the rules. And by anyone, I mean allies as well. You saw how Leo's scared of me, right? I'm not very kind to my men. Really? I suppose Leo must know Nick's demeanor as a member of the Mafia. You've done nothing wrong. More than that, you're like any other normal girl. I have no reason to be harsh with you. So what you see here is me being myself. Whether that makes me kind or not is really in the eyes of the beholder. Does that mean you're not approaching me as part of the Mafia, but rather approaching me as an individual? Nick gave me a gentle smile. His gaze upon me was making my heart race. The following day, after Nick introduced me to Aurracle, Orlock? Well, look would be 2 O's. Look. Oh, whatever. Okay, the windows are all done. You didn't have to clean them. I mean, you're not here to be our maid. You're here so we can protect you. I feel bad seeing you help prepare our meals. But I need to do something to pass the time. Leah asked for help too. Back when I was at the church, we all had our responsibilities and chores for the day. So I can't imagine passing the time without doing anything. I guess it's a matter of habit then. Well, do you have any hobbies? If Nick finds out that you're doing all these chores, I'll be in for it. If that happens, then call me. I'll explain myself to Nick. Thank you very much. Aww. After I finished wiping down the windows, I peeked into the kitchen to see whatever. Hey Kitty, what timing? I'm sorry, but do you mind taking this cappuccino to young Dante? I'm afraid I'm too busy to take it to him now. Why, of course, to his office, right? Yes, if you could, please. Just make sure you knock before going in so you don't get shot. Huh? Just as I was about to knock on the door, I heard someone's voice coming from inside. If there's anything you need, feel free to let me know. After all, I do owe much to your father and the Falzon family. I know that voice. Is it Paris? Paris was a famous Berlin policeman. He was very popular among the citizens. I remember him coming to church often to see how the children were doing. I didn't know he had connections to the Falzon family. I guess I shouldn't go in now. What are you doing here? Do you want to see Dante? Nick. Nick looked down at my hands and immediately responded. A cappuccino, let me take that. I need to talk to Dante anyway. Are you sure? I felt bad that he was going to take it to Dante when Julia asked me to do it. I told you not to worry, but knowing you, how about you make an espresso for me instead? I'll head to the salon in, say, 30 minutes. You can count on me. Thank you, Nick. I thanked Nick for being so thoughtful as I handed over the tray with the cappuccino. I turned around and left the office, heading back to the kitchen. 30 minutes had passed. Nick, here's the espresso you asked for. What? Cherry? Boo, 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 boo. Cherry! Hi! How are you? You're awesome. Guys, in my chat, if you don't know Cherry, go check out Cherry. She's fantastic and just wonderful. Go follow Cherry or I'll throw pillows at you. Spare change! Spare change! Spare change rate! Hi, everyone! Welcome in, Raiders. I am Katybug. I am a butterfly Neko fairy with multiple forms, and we love Jesus and 2D men around here. So we're playing an Otome game today where we can love the 2D men side of things. Have a good night, Hunter. What did you play, Cherry? You were doing art? Oh, what were you drawing? Or what were you doing for art? Also, thank you so much for the raid. I'm good. If you need to go do any aftercare stuff, please go do so. Thank you so much for trusting me with your community. Make sure to stay hydrated, drink some water, eat some food, all that good pizzazz. Irie, hi! 1987, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Butt Gang. Happy to have you. We made a cute Christmas. Oh, yay! Oh, hey, Cherry. Hey, Cherry, can I DM you something later? I have a really, really silly idea, and I'm trying to get feedback on it. Oh, it's great, actually. I think it's fantastic. Stupid but great. Bless. As a small token of my appreciation, I also made a small tray of pistachio biscuit to the salon when all of a sudden. Don't underestimate the police. Now fess up, Nick. Oh my gosh, it's a wannabe Sherlock Holmes. Please keep it down, I have a massive headache. I stopped right at the entrance to the salon. Inside were Nick and Roberto, along with a number of Faldone's men. Hello, the real crispy biscuits. That is such a fun name. Welcome in. How are you? Also, hi, Kimmy Dragon. Let me say hi to people who came in the raid. Hello, Tyree. Thank you so much for coming in. Hi, Derpy. Oh, wait, Derpy, I missed you. How could I miss you? Guys, go follow Derpy. If you don't, I'll throw pillows at you. I need to... You know what I need to commission? Oh, my goodness. You know what I just need to do? I need to go online and get a bunch of pictures of my 2D husbandos. Get a picture of a body pillow. And slap them on, and then make them into 2D assets, so then I can, like, slap them in Twitch's integrated throwing system, and have her redeem where I throw pillows. Hi, Cowboy99! Hey, Dupsy Plays, welcome in, everyone. Okay, I think that's everyone that said anything. I'm doing good! How are you? My brother, so, like, before I came to stream today, because, like, this game was a gift, and I'm, like, so in love with it. I've been wanting to play this game forever, because it has two of my favorite things. Oh! Weird. Like, how laggy is laggy? That's weird. Try refreshing, maybe? Before I came to play this game, my bug brother, my little buggy brother, was like, what kind of game are you gonna play? So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go play my, like, Otome game, my virtual romance novel. And he's like, oh, that's so lame. I didn't think it'd be a lame game. I'm like, it's lame to you, but not to me. And it's exciting to me because it has two of my favorite things in it. And, and I'm not gonna tell anyone what the two favorite things in this game is. They have to guess. Guys, go follow or throw pillows at you. Dude, come on! Let's go! Praise the Lord! I'm so excited for you! And so, yeah, I get to swoon over 2D men. Oh, yeah, but I told them I have a saying on my Twitch channel. The saying around here is, I love Jesus and 2D men. Oh boy. Leon with all the redeems. Hi, Leon. Welcome in. How are you? When are you gonna start your job, Derpy? The men had their guard up and were ready to pounce on Roberto at any moment. Noticing he had the entrance, Roberto suddenly gasped in surprise. Nick didn't say a word to him and instead looked at me and smiled. Thank you, Kitty. How thoughtful of you. Oh, he planned this. I bet you he knew that Roberto was gonna show up, so he was like, made sure that he was gonna bring me a coffee. I still have 10k points. Oh, hey, speaking of 10k points, what would you guys like for the next community reward for the channel point things? You know what? I am good. How are you? I'm slightly confused by this game, but overall I'm good. Oh, come on, that'd be perfect. I'm sorry, I didn't know you had a guest. I only brought enough here for you. That's fine. He'll be leaving shortly. Thank you, Cherry. Have a very yummy dinner. I'm gonna DM you later on Discord my silly idea. Again, thank you so much for the raid. That was so sweet of you. What? Roberto glared at Nick, looking for interest. I could tell very easily that Roberto was beyond angry. Explain it to me in a way that makes sense, and I'll leave. He was trying the best to hold in his anger, but it was quite apparent in his eyes. I know you work behind our backs to get your men released from jail for free. Working to free a criminal without their punishment is a crime in itself. Do we have to go through this again? I went through the proper channels at the station and the court to legally free them. Why you? Where's your honor? I'm afraid we have some kind of misunderstanding. Do you really think I have the power to manipulate the law? The men were released because your station and the court deemed them not guilty. That's all there is to it. Oh yeah, okay. My only confusion about this Otome game is I can't figure out if I'm picking the right answers. And I don't want to use a guide. like Code Realize, you get like an indicator. In Hakaoki, it's cherry blossoms. But like in this game, I can't figure it out. Nick replied gently in an effort to try and quell Roberto's anger. Then, all of a sudden, the tone of his voice changed. The case of young girls' abductions here suddenly ended without any notice. Your men didn't even investigate the incident properly, and instead closed the investigation. And now that you have the spare time, you're trying to find fault with the mafia? I quietly listened to the conversation. Can't you imagine how much trouble it is for us to entertain your flock? Thank you for the lecture, Fee. I hope you have a good night and you can get everything done that you need to get done. It is our job as a police to monitor and arrest the mafia. Now that the abductions have ended, it's only natural that we redirect the focus to the mafia. To start with, you're all criminals. You have no right to denounce the police. No right? You know, you should really think before you open that mouth of yours. Do you seriously think an officer like you has the authority to come barging into the Falcon's residence like this? A friendly word of advice, think about whether you have the right to come here. And be careful of how you act next time. If you plan on living in Forlorn, you should at least learn how things work around here. I guess Nick has no plans of causing further ruckus, at least for now. Game Grotto! Thank you, Aura, for giving Game Grotto a shout out. How are you? So there's like down in the bottom, there's like progress, story progression, all 3%, root 0. But I don't know if that means I'm picking the right answers or not. And then, guys, go follow Game Grotto. If you don't, I'll throw pillows at you. And then there's this status thing, but all it shows me is the, character that I'm romancing. It doesn't show me anything else. Yeah. So I'm either doing something wrong or I'm doing something right, and I have zero idea. And I'm like, ah! I tried to Google it, and Google was no help. Google, how could you? Hey, thank you so much for coming by and saying hi. I appreciate it. The tension began to... I've been thinking about ending my streams with that cat style. Exactly! The tension began to rise in the salon. Roberto was still glaring at Nick. He opened his mouth to speak, but... Leo knocked on the wall to request attention. You have a guest, Nick. Marco? Sorry for the trouble, Nick. His words and actions are my fault as his supervisor. Hey, Critter Hims, thanks for the alert. Can I get a shout out for Critter Hims? Oh, I like it. That's adorable. Sandpaper. Yes! What, Marco? You don't need to listen to Roberto. We have to go through this again. You don't want to learn, do you? Just drop it and let's go. Dude, he just saved you from getting into serious trouble, kid. You should be thankful. On his way out, he stopped in front of me. Come with us. Huh? I have no idea why you're here, but you shouldn't mingle with them. Just leave this place and go back to your normal life at the church. Oh, am I... Unbelievable. You don't even know how to treat ladies either? It's her choice where she wants to be, unless, of course, you're going to arrest her. Is there a single man who doesn't look traditional? What do you mean? Talking about like in these games? I bet you have her kept here against her will. A person of faith associating with the mafia? Ridiculous. Her very existence here is sufficient proof to warrant your arrest. I don't know how I feel about Roberto. I feel like he's jumping to a lot of conclusions. Is Nicholas... great? Probably not, if we're being honest. He probably has lots of secrets. However, he is helping me, so... Roberto, I'm afraid you've misunderstood. What? I'm here of my own will. There's nothing about me that the police need to worry about. You want to be here with the mafia? No, that can't be. I won't accept that as fact. But it's the truth, and... Nicola gently placed his hand on my shoulder to try and calm me down. She's my special someone. What? Are they in love? Kiss, kiss, fall in love. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Now kiss. Right? Is that there? Oh, okay. Figured it out. Now, come now. The police is going to intervene in other people's relationships too. The love police are. The love police are for real. Special someone? He's joking like usual, right? This is a bit too much for me to handle. Roberto looks stunned. Seeing me show a favorable disposition towards the mafia must be shocking to him. I could only assume that he was witnessing was far beyond belief from his point of view. Do you remember this? Do you remember this? I won't let you bring any harm to her. Don't force your justice onto others. Why you? I'm sure you're both busy men, so why don't you two take your leave? I'd also appreciate it if you didn't waste my precious time. Yeah, he wants to go make out with his girlfriend. Okay, wait. Hold on. So this game, this fabulous, wonderful game, is called I don't know how to say it, so actually don't ask me. Anyways! So you got Marco over here, And Marco, this old dude, he's a police officer. Roberto here, he's a young police officer who wants to bring reform. Me, Katie Bug, I'm a sister in a church. I was an orphan who was raised by the church, and I decided when I turned 20 to stay with the church to help in the orphanage. Well, in the process, trouble happened. So how this works is in this town where I live is our cities, and the cities are ruled by 3 different mafia gangs. You have the Falzones, you have the Vice something, and then you have the Lushu mafia. The Falzones were the original, the Vice broke off because they wanted to, and the Lushu came in from China and wanted to establish whatever. Anyways, so they're keeping me safe because someone tried to kill me. Yeah, that's where the mafia comes in. All the mafia men are hot. I mean, like... Jacob Enjoyer, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Bug Gang. So, this game, I am super excited for it for a multitude of reasons. But there's one huge reason I'm excited for it, is it has 2 of my favorite types. 2 of my favorite types. As in, like, there's 2 specific guys who have 2 of my favorite things. And I'm not sharing them because I want people to figure it out. Because it's pretty easy to figure it out. Because I'm just an open book, y'all. I'm an open caterpillar. I'm an open butterfly. As much as I hate to say it, I understand your concern. Meg's like, investigate! Also, hey! I have a question! About, you started Help Wanted too, right? Of course. Then we're good. Marco somewhat forcefully dragged Roberto out of the manor. Now then, who was the kind soul that allowed that officer in here? That was me. What were you thinking? Even if he was causing noise outside, there was no reason to let him in here. I had never seen Nick this angry before, as he scolded his elder subordinate. We'd be at a disadvantage if something happened inside the manor, regardless of who started it. I don't know, my dad has a backpack, and, they let him bring it into the theater. But, like, I've seen men around here carry purses. Ooh! Okay, so what are your first thoughts on it? I'm curious. Because I have questions, because I want to know stuff. I want to know stuff about the game. I got a big backpack. Full of my 2D husband. Okay, no, it's not full of all my 2D husband. I don't cry. It has a lot of pins in it. We'd be at a disadvantage if something... Okay, yeah, I've read that. And that makes it harder to cover, and that in turn mars our boss's name. I'll ask you not to bother Dante over such a petty matter next time. My apologies. I promise in the name of the family to never make the same mistake again. I could only stand by and watch as the espresso I brought went colder by the minute. I'm sorry about that. I hope I didn't scare you. No, but you ruined the coffee! Like, how dare you not drink my coffee that I brought you? I put my heart and soul into that cup of coffee! I would have a big backpack. Meg. I came up with a great idea tonight. Assuming I'm talking to Meg, because I haven't been corrected. Like I said, my dad has a backpack that he brings into the theater. Although I have not gotten to the headset. It is not as scary, but we have not. So, will you just tell me as you play it if they expand upon Ballora and Baby's lore? Cause, like, I'm really interested in Ballora. So, like, I have this saying that if people don't follow someone, I'll throw pillows at them. So, like, what if this would take some time, but what if I got a bunch of like body pillows and put different husbandos on them, and when I shouted someone out, I could have it as a redeem to activate the throwing of the pillows, and be like, yo, follow them, or I'll throw pillows at you. And I do throw pillows of them, put pillows full of my husbandos. Just a little. Let's step outside once I'm done with the espresso. Some flowers in the garden have just bloomed. I'm sure you'll love them. It's a goal. I plan to do it. I just don't know when. Also, thank you about keeping me updated about Ballora and stuff. I saw her on the cover and I was like, oh, I hope they go deeper into her story because she's not one that's really explored much. I awkwardly nodded at Nick's smile. I let out a sigh in the garden. The cool air felt much better compared to the tension back in the salon. Nick? You were talking earlier about how the abductions weren't happening anymore. I remember Aurracle mentioning something similar as well. Back then I didn't have the chance to ask about it, but does that mean that Lao Shu have stopped? Can I go back home then? Nick smiled hesitantly at me and spoke as if he were comforting a child. I suppose so. At the very least, you're safe from the abduction. But you did witness the Lao Shu's crimes, so that means they may still be after you. Then when can I go home? You'll be safe once we eradicate the Lao Shu. How long might that take? Weeks? Months? Nick quietly closed his eyes, hearing my anxious question. I'm sorry, kitty. Oh, so it's basically the same. Lame. It would have been cool if they did something different. No, I'm sorry. I understood very well how much effort they made in securing my safety, and trying to eliminate the Lao Shu wasn't going to happen overnight. It would obviously take some time. I know the Falzone is doing a lot for me, but I hope I can leave soon. The church is my home after all. Asking for that wasn't going to help Nick at all. I decided to talk about his conversation with Roberto to change the subject. Big sad. Big sad indeed. What is it? Remember you said that you got your men released from the police? Was that all true, right? How did you know? It sounded real coming from you. You are the underboss after all. He looked at me with an unusual calm expression. I conduct myself in ways that go against the law. As Roberto says, I'm a criminal. But can't you make choices that don't go against the law? If so, I would gladly fulfill whatever wish you have. May I remind you that the Falzone family is a part of the Mafia? We are a criminal organization. I hope you're not forgetting that. The members of the Falzone family have all treated me well since my arrival here. Maybe that had warped my perception. I was probably living a life that lacked any input from reality. Almost as if I were dreaming. But tell us all that time. Nick's word brought me back to my senses. I was being held in custody of the Mafia. I was under the care of the criminal organization. We need to demonstrate power. No one goes against someone with power. That helps us to avoid conflict. I believe that's the best way to keep the peace. I hope that doesn't disappoint you. I responded to Nick. Anyone who lives in Borland knows that the Mafia here doesn't do what they do for charity. So what you told me doesn't change how I view the Mafia. Huh? I thought you would be disappointed. I didn't expect you to be so objective. But I am disappointed in myself. In yourself? What do you mean? I was being too optimistic. I wasn't thinking properly, living here under the level of care and comfort. I should have put more thought on what it meant to be under their custody. I'm being protected by the Mafia, so it's no surprise I'd be involved in your affairs. But I hope that's not the case. All I know is that I'm in an environment where that could happen.
Yeah.
And you want out? I don't want to go against the law. You are a lot bolder than I thought. Nick looked at me with interest, then let out a chuckle. Nick, oh, I read that. Is there anything else bothering you? Anything else? I want chocolate cake. I was a bit surprised at how strict you were against one of your men. I know you said you weren't kind to your men, but still. And by anyone, I mean Alex as well. It's not that I didn't believe him, but after seeing the harshness play out in front of me today, it made me realize maybe I was being a bit too optimistic of the situation I was in. Keeping to the rules was important. Let that go, and the whole system will fail. That's why each member of the family needs to be guided carefully. After all, I am Dante's. I am working as support for the Falcon family. My job is to nip any potential problems for the family in the bud. That must be Nick's role as the underboss. This might have been the first time I saw Nick as a member of the Mafia. Let me ask you something. You're talking with the administration of the family right now. How is it? Are you scared? I responded to his question. I mean, no, not really. You don't inherently scare me, if I'm being honest. Maybe because I just haven't seen that side of you, but inherently you're like a freaking golden retriever that occasionally has to bite people. We're both human, so I'm not scared. Pretty brave, aren't you? Or stupid. Who knows? You could kill me later if I make the wrong decision. Just put a bullet between my eyes. You've been treating me nicely ever since I came here, too. But don't put too much faith in me. I am, after all, a criminal. Nick's teasing words made me giggle. How could I forget? I don't think he was teasing you. I think he was... You are brave. I love you, Meg. You're great. Remember how I introduced you to Roberto as my special someone? My apologies. I should have asked you first whether I could say that or not. Well, it did surprise me, but you had to do what you had to do. Don't worry about me. It's alright. I understand. Thank you. Still, what I said back there was a bad choice regardless. Really? Well, that officer is quite attached to you. What, you mean Roberto? Oh, absolutely not. He's never been particularly kind to me. In fact, I think he may actually hate me. We've never even spoken casually before. Is Roberto the type that when he likes someone, he's mean to them? That's not attractive. Like, at all. Zero interest. A few days passed since Marco's visit to the manor. Come in. Nick, what is all of this? These are for you. Sister Sophia packed your belongings together and sent them here. She also sent you a letter. I can deliver your reply to her. Oh my, what a pleasant surprise. Grazie, Nick. Right? I mean, occasionally I like that type. Occasionally. But it has to be done really well for me to be like, yeah. You're very welcome. Dante did give orders to ensure that living here would be smoothly for you. Dante said that? After Nick took his leave, I began to think to myself, come to think of it, I haven't seen Dante for a long while now. Well, he is the boss, so it's only natural that he'd be busy. The last time I saw Dante was when Sister Sophia was here. Nick took the cappuccino from me and brought it to Dante in my stead. Dante was the Falcon's family boss, and the heir to the family. His care and discretion provided me all that I needed to live here comfortably. Hey, Meg, do you have an anime type? Isn't there a way I can show him my things? I kept wondering about it as I left the room to go to the kitchen. Make him food or something. You want Dante's favorite food? Well, now, there's a lot that he likes. In fact, his tastes are very clear. Does he like sweets, maybe fruits? He'll eat anything sweet. As for fruit, he loves strawberries. Strawberries, that's perfect. I made some strawberry jam back at church. Don't tell me you're going to go and get it. I doubt young Nick will let you do that. Approved. No, that's not how you still approve. Could someone get them for me, perhaps? I believe that can be arranged. Our maids are going shopping, so I will ask one of them to stop by the church. Really, thank you. That would be great. No, please thank the maid who will go there. Now then, I need to step out for laundry. Feel free to use the kitchen as you please. Thank you. I hurriedly rolled up my sleeves in preparation. I want to know what she's going to make. Seriously, this game does two things to me. It makes me giggly because, like, the guys are cute, but it also makes me really hungry because there's so much food. Best. Based. You and Don are seriously so cute, though. Oh, hey! Speaking of anime boys, I was going to sleep last night, and I got this really cool idea in my head for, an image of Sleepy Sheep Bug with an anime boy that isn't actually in existence because he's not real, obviously, but also because, like, I haven't drawn him yet. Anyways, I thought it was really cute. Base Katie, base Katie, base Katie! And so now I kind of want to draw it, but the issue is, it's such an ambitious piece. I don't know how ambitious I'm feeling right now. Out of the oven came a freshly baked strawberry passetta. A baked confectionery made with cookie dough and jam. It is noted for— ooh, I want one. I baked using a very flaky cookie dough filled with the strawberry jam I made back at the church. I promised to bake a fresh pie for the maid who brought the jam for me today. I thought I smelled something good, so where's Julia? She went to do the laundry. Busy as usual, and you are? Me, I was baking some passetta. Yes, I can see that. I'm curious as to why you're baking, especially when no one is around. Who are you baking them for? Well... oh boy. I'm not about to lie to him. I have made 0 progress on this route. I'm assuming I'm picking all the wrong answers. Yeah, it's not that I don't have time, because now that I'm on school break... yeah, okay, so like, there's a reason I save a lot. I'm saving at every decision. Because I'm trying to figure out how this game, but I'm running out of save slots. Oh no, I'm running out of no, I'm not. Okay, never mind. I'm trying to figure out how this game works, because it's not indicating if I'm, picking the right choices. So I save... everyone? Everyone what? So I don't know if I'm doing this right or wrong. So I'm saving so I can go back and try to figure it out. How many save slots does this have? 99. I don't have them all filled up yet. There's 99 save spots and I'm only to spot 11. Yeah, it's to learn. Cause like, I think I'm picking wrong because it says 0% on bottom and all %3. So I think I'm making the wrong choice. But this game doesn't give me an indication. So I'm like, no! I could use a strategy guide, but I like going in blind the first time. We're gonna quick save this. I baked them for Dante. I just wanted to thank him for letting me stay here. It's the least I can do to show respect to him as a boss. Am I overstepping my boundaries? Not at all. I'm sure Dante will be happy. He does love his sweets. I appreciate you're thinking about Dante like that. Say, Nick, do you mind having a bite? I began to cut the custard into slices. I was planning on serving a slice to Dante. The rest was for everyone else here. A bite, huh? You don't like crustadas? Or is it the strawberries you don't like? It's not that. It sounds like you made this to show appreciation to Dante and are offering you the crumbs. Thank you for hanging out with me, Meg! I love you! I'll see you later! That's not what I was implying. Oh, are you sure? I really appreciate what you've done too. I thought that was pretty clear. You could be clearer, you know, in showing your real appreciation. How? Let me see. Why don't you cut a fork and feed it to me? Huh? Since you really appreciate me. Do it. Nick naturally came closer to me, all the while with his usual smile. Or maybe... Fine, I'll feed it to you. I held the fork in my hand. No use in holding back here. I need to do this. If I don't do this, I feel like things are only going to take a turn for the worse. She looks so bashful. We looked at each other closely. His charming smile was relaxed while my face and body were tense from the pressure. Okay, here I go. You don't look so serious about it. You don't need to do this, you know. It's not that, it's just embarrassing. Well, if it's embarrassing, then I don't want to force. It's okay, Nick. I want to show you my appreciation. This is just my way of showing that. I stated it strongly, as if I were trying to convince myself. Well, if you say so, will you do the honors? Thanks for the lurk, Aura! With pleasure. And with that, I slowly moved the study closer to his mouth. Nick opened wide and took a bite. That was good, thank you. My pleasure. I worked really hard on it, so I'm happy you liked it. Is there a problem? No, I was just thinking how much I like you. You're lying, right? That's terrible. I'm not lying. But you aren't serious, are you? Well, sort of. You're a kind gentleman, but sometimes you can be really mean. I don't think it's very nice to say things that can be misunderstood. Nick laughed like a kid and moved away. You can lie with a smile on your face. I'd better watch out next time. You're one to talk. For the most part, you act like a lady, but you do have your moments. And I'm not the only one who lies, so no need to be so alarmed. You don't even deny that you lie. I let out a deep sigh and placed Dante's slice of crostata on a plate. It was freshly baked, so I should take it to his office while it was still warm. We're coming in. Nick knocked and then opened the door without waiting for Dante's response. Then make the impossible happen. This is an order. He's on the phone. Maybe we'd better come back later. I worriedly looked at Nick to see what we should do. He smiled back as if there was nothing to worry about. That is all for me. Dante ended the call abruptly and quietly put down the phone. So, why are you two here? Dante looked at us with a frown. I responded hesitantly. I baked a crostata to show my appreciation for all that you've done for me. I was hoping you'd like it. I see. I ate a piece earlier and I can vouch for how delicious it is. Without changing the expression, Dante took a bite of it. He then took a sip of the cappuccino and savored the pairing. Come in. Excuse me. Oh, Nick, there you are. I have a report for you. Let's talk outside. Understood. With serious expressions, Leo and Nick take their leave. As for me, I feel like I missed the opportunity to leave the office. I should have left with Nick. Being alone with Dante was making me feel nervous. Looks like Dante is about to finish the set. There's not a crumb left on the plate. I suppose he must have liked it. By the way, are things going fine living here? I think so. Why, yes, every day has been enjoyable, especially with how kind everyone has been. I see. Is he concerned about my life here? It appears you're getting along with Nick. Yeah, he's a very nice person. The room went silent. Well, I should return to the kitchen. Thank you for finishing the meal. I gathered the empty plate and cup and quickly left the office. So what do you have to report? One of our men has been reported dead. Cause of death unknown. Who reported it? A resident living in our district let us know. The police haven't been informed yet. Let's hurry to the scene. I want to see what happened before someone else does. Should I report this to the boss? Let's keep this under wraps until we have more information. I see, understood. I'll lead the way then. I hurried down the hall with Leo in front. I was a bit worried about leaving her behind in the office, but I needed to fulfill my duties first. Ooh. I looked at the body in Place District Alley. Leo went to speak with the person who found the body. A gunshot from behind. Looks like it hit him square in the head. This is the same way my other subordinate died, the night I took custody of her. It doesn't look like there was a fight. It was more of an execution. I heard footsteps approaching and looked up to see a familiar face. I have some information to sell, Nick. What timing? I'm surprised you know where I was. It was like that I met you here. I'm going around to all the murder scenes. It looks like Berlin's mafia members are being killed in town. If you're interested, that is. That's exactly the kind of information I'm looking for. Similar incidents are occurring through the various districts, including Sereno. Arca isn't as affected, but there are bodies turning up near the police station too. The police are only here to keep up the front. They may be a nuisance, but they're far from being a threat. The fact that the police couldn't control the crime rate was to be expected. Interesting. It didn't seem like the disturbing events in Bornlorn were going to cease anytime soon. I gathered the empty plate and cup and quickly left the office. Okay. With that, I think I'm going to switch gears for a little bit. And play some Genshin, maybe? You know what I'm going to do? Actually, we're going to save. I'm going to raid. It should be for about 2 hours. Okay, let's see. Who is streaming? Opossum Blossom. I don't think Game Grotto is streaming yet. Oh, Bianca's streaming. We'll raid Bianca. Hopefully she's not getting ready to finish. Okay, guys, stick around for the raid. As always, remember to eat some food, get some sleep, and drink some water because you are important, and so is your health. And remember, you matter. You're important. I will see you guys all in the next stream. Wait, that's not her picture. Did I type her name wrong? Hold on. She's doing Genshin art, which is why we're rating her today. There we go! Okay, now we're officially rating. She's drawing, Verona, and it's I love her artwork so much. She did the intro piece for Kitty Book. I will see you guys tomorrow for some Genshin and either more of this game or potentially Final Fantasy. Take it easy. God bless you all. See you later. Bye! Oh, y'all, totally random. Totally random. But some of you guys know Gary the Goo Boy. And he does this thing where he'll get, like, really big. Like, really blow up his model as best as he can. And he'll kiss, so... But my model, I guess, can kind of make a kissy face. But, like, there was one time we were streaming together, whatever. And I did this. And I licked the... There. Well, you'll have to learn then a total surprise. It's not the truth. The very, very big truth. Anyways. Let's go back to normal size. You licked the screen. I did. Have a Katybug kiss.